Well, couldn't stand it any longer. Dragged it out of the building, out of the rear shop, and brought it around. And yes, I don't know if you can see out there, but there you go. We still have snow. We freed some room up so I could put this in here. I've got some new parts. New set of shorty headers. 3-inch outlets on them. Probably going to bring that down to 2.5. Ooh, radiator. 1932 style from 27 through 31. So that means I am going to go with no fenders on it. Got some boxing to do. I'll be taking all the sheet metal off this truck once I do a little more fab on the front. Let's see what else I got. 31 radiator shell. Got various other parts and pieces that are coming in. Let's see what we got here. That would be for the brakes. There's some. This is kind of a mess in here. I'm not really working in my shop. I'm working in one of the buildings I use. Or it's attached to the shop. It's actually part of the shop, but I generally don't work in here. Where did I put? Okay, and these are frame mount. This will be on this side like this on the front for headlights. I'm going to go with 7-inch 30 styles headlights. I'll figure out the signal lights. I got to extend, now that I'm going to put a radiator there, I'm going to extend the frame down with this 1.5 by 3-inch square tubing, and I want to pinch it down. So I'll show you a video once I do that. I already sliced it here, so I'll be taking some pieces out and on the bottom to bring it together, and then I will fold the side in. I'm going to leave it on the outside so the frame matches inside right here. I'll fold it all down, weld it up. I'll bring it out about to a total of where the radiator housing is going to sit, about 36 inches from the firewall. And then I will mount the radiator so I can get some figuring on what I'm going to do for the rest of the frame. So we'll go in here for a second. So I was looking at frame horns to go on the front of the 32s and some of the hot rods, and so I'm using a jig right here to make it up. So I cut them out, cut these out with my plasma cutter. So they're just 3/16. I'll put this in here. I'll get them lined up. I will put a spacer here and spacer here to hold them at the 1.5 inch, and then I will lay a piece of 3/16 over, heat it, bend it around, bring it up the other side, and weld them in. So when I do the other frame extensions, these will slide in, and then I will weld and blend them in. Just kind of give me that look of the older style front frame on the truck. I'm also will be putting a like a stabilizer bar, frame stabilizer, round from one side to the other, kind of matching and mimicking what they have in the 32s and 31s and 30s and 28s. So that's where I am. I've been experimenting. I started cutting them out, but didn't allow for the 3-inch frame. So now I've widened them out on the back so they can match in, so I don't have to pinch that one down either. So I'll bring it back after I pinch a piece of that frame down and weld it in and put the cross piece in for the radiator. And mount the radiator so I can start looking at what I'm going to do for the front end to finish that up. I've got master cylinder, slave cylinder, new clutch, pressure plate, throwout bearing. I'll be doing all that and doing the frame, finish weldings on the frame. Once I take the cab and the sheet metal off, I'll bring it in this side to do that. I'll take the cab off, set it on, set it where I can flop it around and lay it on its back and stuff, and do the final welds on the bottom of the cab. Or I may just stick it on the hoist, raise it up and weld it from underneath, but it is easier to weld it when it's laying on its side and when you're not welding over your head. It is for me. So yeah, that's where I am. So the rat rod is out and about. I'm going to shoot a video shortly of a friend of mine and my son's who I sold a bunch of parts to, a 66 Ford F100 frame, 52 cab. It came off that well driller's cab that I bought a few years ago, and I sold him a bunch of parts for that, a little box to go on the back, and he has built himself way farther ahead than I ever am. On his little rat rod, he's got a 5-liter out of a Mustang GT in it, automatic transmission. He's done a nice little job just to make a little truck for him to scoot around in. And it's catching this stuff, you know. All these young guys are starting to catch on to this, so he gets a lot of compliments on it. And it's in his shop. He has a little garage down street here. So I'll shoot a video of that really quick. Anyway, I'll bring you back when I got some more. And so rat rodding season is here. Hot rod, rat rod, I don't care what you call it. It's just fun. Catch you soon.